the Simsonn Pro Pedals. Should you buy them? This is my 3-month review, and I thought I would share it with you guys because obviously these are not top of the line pedals, but they are very, very, very value orientated pedals. So I thought I'd give you a running review of how we're looking 3 months in. So let's get started. First of all, extremely solid and well made. These have been really good so far. I really haven't had too many issues with these, and it's been great so far. So strong construction, no issues with any free play side to side 3 months in. It's been really good adjustability. They're very modular with other components as well for anyone out there who DIYs like I do. I've had no issues with any games so far. Every game that I've played, even some of the older ones, have picked up these pedals just naturally under devices, which shocks me because usually with things like this that you receive from China, they don't have the software or work very well, but Windows has no issues at all with these pedals, and that's amazing to me. I've had more solid brand name components that have had more connectivity issues than what these have, so that's amazing. The factory software that comes with it, I'm actually still using that, and a lot of people have said no, use this other software, but I haven't needed to change it, which is amazing. It's still working quite well. Perfect. Calibration is still fine. I had to recalibrate them the other day because I changed the pedal pads, which we're going to talk about today, and yeah, I just had to, it was easy. I changed it in the software, boom, we were off and ready to go. So yeah, calibration was no problem at all. The only problem is that it's not quite as adjustable as some other brands that you do have. And we're going to go over pros and cons later, but yeah, you're not quite as adjustable as what you would be if you had a different brand pedals. They're still going strong 3 months in, no issues. The only things that I've done to them have been upgrades because I felt like there was some things that I wanted to change. Driving in socks was a bit of an issue, especially for the Accelerator pedal after longer stints. You'll see that the pedal has like a lot of holes in there, and after a while of pushing on that top bit with the Accelerator, you start to feel it in the balls of your feet. So yeah, that little bit of an issue, but that's pretty easy fixed, as we'll go into. The only probably issue that I've had really is pushing the pedals for the first time. They can get a little, not bindy, but it feels like they just need to set in place when you push them for the first time. And that could be an adjustment thing, but it's like the bushes need a little bit of lubrication or something over time. But once you've pushed them down the first time, they feel fine. It's like they're smooth and off you go again. So they might just need a little bit of lubrication, and that's another thing that we'll talk about later. But modifications. So I decided to do some modifications to these pedals. I wanted to obviously change the spring setup from the way that it came in the brake pedal. The red bushes that you get are terrible. Don't use those things. The white ones that you get are worse, so don't use those. So what I ended up going with, as you'll see in the picture, is that you have I think it's a blue spring, and then to give you that little bit of travel at the start, and then a red bush, and then I forget what the other one was. I think it was a blue bush or a black bush or something like that. The black bushes are good. They're nice and solid, and it gives you that firm stop, so you've got that braking point. So yeah, that's the setup that I went with, but everyone's different. You know, make it feel how you want, and you can do that with these pedals out of the box. You don't need any extra bushes. You can buy it with the extra springs on bushes. I think it comes with that from factory, so you don't need to buy like an accessory kit or something else on top, which is amazing for the money. So we're happy with that. So yeah, once you get the brake pedal feeling great, you can use these straight out of the box. Definitely. You don't have to make any adjustments like I did. But what did we do after that? So we went to replacing the pedal plates. Like I said, it gets a little bit hard on the foot, especially the accelerator. The brake and the clutch were fine, but I did one of them, so I decided to do them all, as you do. So I had a look on printables, just searched for Simsonn Pro Pedals, and it come up with accelerator pedal and a brake pedal, which are convex and curved. Convex? Yeah, curved. And you can actually buy a curved pedal set for the brake pedal and the clutch, and I would recommend doing that if you can. But I think it might be something that you have to ask for. It doesn't come factory like that, but I believe that's an option. I've got a photo of them, you can see. And yeah, so you can get them in a curved pedal set. But I decided to print my own with my 3D printer. So I printed a flat accelerator pedal, which is really smooth and great underfoot now. You can modulate a lot easier. And the brake pedal feels great with a bigger pedal, and it's convex, curved. And then I just decided, well, I'm going to do one for the clutch as well. Why not? The problem with the clutch one, I put the same brake pedal pad onto the clutch pedal, and the holes are different sizes, different lengths apart. So the clutch is a lot shorter, so I had to just re-drill it. But you know, it's just plastic at the end of the day. But they're rock solid now, and so just be aware of that if you go to do that. That can be a problem. But other than that, make sure that if you are gonna do the pedal plate mods, is to do the bass shaker mod, which I'm about to show you guys. Do the bass shaker mod after you do the pedal pads, because it can be really fiddly, especially the accelerator pedal, to replace the bass shaker and the pedal pad at the same time. So I'll probably do the pedal pad on the accelerator before you add the bass shakers. But other than that, pretty straightforward. And that takes us on to the next one. Rolls us straight into the bass shaker mounts and the bass shakers. So I had a look on printables and Thingiverse, and I was looking for a way to bolt bass shakers to these pedals. And there was two different options. There was the first one, which is the black one in this picture, and then you got the white one. And the white one is a lot more solid, and I'll put a link to the white one in the description, as well as all the other information about what I've used and links in the description. But yeah, the white one was the best and the most solid and the most easier to install. You may have to drill out the hole in the bass shaker mount to get it to fit, but the bass shakers bolt straight to it with the factory screws that you get as well for the bass shakers, the self-tapping screws, which was awesome. But yeah, and you can, so if you buy the Dayton audio, the TT25s they're called, yeah, and you do this, you can screw the TT25s straight to the bass shaker mount, the white one, and yeah, and it works quite fine. And then I just use that alongside some Nobsound mini amps. You can get them off Amazon or off Aliexpress, and then just align them with SimHub. Just be careful with those hubs. There are some cheap knockoff, some cheap knockoff versions that don't like being turned all the way up. You turn them up to 100%, they won't work. You got to turn them up to about 75% and just leave them there, and they're fine. I had a lot of issues with one of my cheaper ones, but not with the proper Nobsound one. That one worked fine, so something to look out for there. But anyway, let's move on to the pros and cons. Rock solid with no major issues. Feels great underfoot. Rock solid pedals. You have a lot of confidence driving, under acceleration, under braking. It all feels really good. There's a huge amount of adjustability on the pedals. You can use any sort of DIY springs and bushes and anything you want, virtually, to a degree. So the adjustability is almost endless. Extremely good price and great value for money. Great value for money. Probably the best value for money pedals out there, alongside SimJack Pros and the SimJack Ultimates, the new ones. They feel very similar to like Huskenbelt Sprints, at almost a third of the price, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I've been really happy with these pedals, to be honest, and I honestly don't feel like I need to upgrade anytime soon. And I feel that if anything goes wrong with these pedals, that I could replace it or find a part to replace it. So I could use these for a very long time. They feel that solid that, yeah, doesn't feel like I'm going to have any issues. So let's move on to the cons. So when I first bought my pedals, I didn't buy the pedal plate, what they bolt to, and I just bolted them straight onto the profile. That worked fine, but then I did realize that you do need a bit of a footrest. It needs to be a relatively high footrest, and it was hard to build something for that. I tried a few different options, just DIY. It got a bit annoying and a bit hard and not very comfortable, so I went with the factory base plate. And so I ordered it in. It came perfect, looked fantastic, rock solid, no issues there. It's a bit hard underfoot. It's like a solid piece of just metal. So it is quite hard on your heels. So I would say replace that with something like a mouse pad or something soft, I think would be perfect. The black, that can scratch pretty easy. So, and it's hard to see if you're doing YouTube videos on this stuff, black just looks like black. So maybe the silver could be a good option, but I like the black just visually. You may need to re-grease them or lubricate them at times. I haven't done that yet, 3 months in, but maybe just to stop that first initial push of grindiness and then fine. Yeah, might just need some lubrication. The software can be limiting. So if you like to make adjustments for different games and for different types of driving, this may not suit you because you can save profiles, but the software is nothing fantastic. It's bare bones, very, very bare bones. So may not be suitable for you guys. Yeah, but one of the big things that a lot of people have said is that you can have an issue with Fanatec wheelbases and EMI issues as well without being fully grounded. And sometimes even if it is fully grounded with the ground cable that comes with it, you can still have issues. So just be wary of that. That's a pretty big issue. But yeah, if you don't have a Fanatec wheelbase, like I've got a Moser one, no issues whatsoever. So happy days. I haven't heard of any other wheelbase having this issue other than Fanatec ones. And the only other con really is the SimJack Ultimates have come out. They could be a better choice because they've been redesigned and they're a very new design which could be better. And they were kind of similar money last time I checked. So they could be a good option as well. So definitely look at those. But other than that, I've been super happy with these pedals. I would highly recommend them as well. They seem to be gaining more and more traction every time someone tries them and does a bit of a review. I see them over Facebook all the time and people are talking about what pedals would they get for cheap, and they pick these up and they're pretty happy. So I'm happy to recommend them. And I'm not sponsored by these guys, obviously. I don't even know who they are, but I paid for these pedals by myself. And yeah, I love them. Absolutely love them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.